When you say that, you know what it sounds like? You say It sounds like Stitch.
Stitch?
Lilo and Stitch.
Like Lilo and Stitch?
You ever seen Lilo and Stitch?
Yeah, I have.
Remember he speaks and she'll say it's like a yes or no question. He go,
I don't mind.
Well, guys, welcome to the Special Friends Podcast. This is your boy Wuzi. And I'm here.
With Professor B.
Yep, with Professor B. And we're here on another episode.
Yeah.
And we made it, y'all. They didn't believe in us.
We did.
It was a struggle getting here, guys. I hope y'all know. It was a struggle.
The enemy has really been trying to come for our greatness. But they have us.
That's how it feels. But alas, has now won.
Yeah, we still winning.
We're here. Another episode. Episode 21 of Special Friends Podcast. We have a one camera setup now, which is fine. We'll make it work. We'll level up.
Yeah, we'll get back.
So no fancy angles for a little bit, but it's all right. We got fancy topics.
And personality.
I mean, that's what I said. I wrote in my journal today when I was writing. I wrote in my journal today about that, like about the incident of my car getting broken into. P.S. That's what happened. My car got broken into and they stole all the goodies. But while I was writing it, I wrote the question I kept asking myself is that what makes the podcast, the equipment or the content? So that's why I have to keep reminding myself, I'm like, even though I can get like caught up like, oh man, it's gonna not look as good. It's like, it don't really matter if the content's trash.
That's true. Because you could have all the good angles and trash things that you're talking about. Like, never mind. I won't say any specific YouTubers or.
Yeah, we're not gonna roast anybody because we ain't nobody.
Right. They wouldn't care anyway.
They were like, man, who is this? Man, block. Hey, that used to be the thing on Twitter though. Getting when you, I don't know why. What was up with that era? People getting happy that they got blocked by a celeb. Like blah blah blah, blocked me. Like, ew.
People still do that.
I just don't know why. What do you get out of it? You weirdo.
I know. No regular person brags about being blocked, but I don't know.
Not a regular person. But I wanted to first check in. How you feeling, Allie?
I'm feeling pretty blessed. I'm feeling like I'm coming, I don't know, into a level place.
Okay.
So grateful. And my birthday's next week. So
congratulations.
Yeah, I'm feeling excited about that to celebrate myself. Celebrate being 32.
32? Wow. How does it feel? Do you feel 32?
I do, actually.
Yeah?
Yes.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I remember when I was talking to DJ Case for her birthday. I don't remember how old she was turning, but she was in her 30s. And she said, yeah, 30s, you just feel sharper.
That's exactly it.
And I'm like, ew, I don't know. I don't like the sound of that because like now I feel like in my 20s, I'm like, ew, am I just lost? Am I lost out here?
Yeah, kind of. That's fine. I was lost most of my 20s. I feel still, I'm not going to say I'm lost, but I will use the metaphor I used with a friend this week that, you know, I'm kind of a butterfly with wings. It's not so much I don't know how to fly, it's I don't know where to fly to at this time. But in my 20s, I know how to fly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it is, you are sharper in your 30s, I think. Sorry. Yeah. I feel like I'm just trying to get this set up situation. There we go. Yeah, you do feel like you're kind of sharper. You feel like you can stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
In ways that you didn't know how to in your 20s. And you also stop tolerating a lot of stuff that you really made excuses for. In your 20s, at least for me, that's what I'm walking into unapologetically, and it feels great.
Not unapologetically. I mean, not There's nothing wrong with that. That's how you gotta do it.
You know, but I know what you mean. Yeah,
That's
that energy though in your 30s. Most people think you get into that space of like, I don't give a F anymore, or I don't give a F energy, and that does come stronger too, I think. But I think for me, the biggest gift is being able to use my voice and mean what I say.
I said what I said.
Mm-hmm. And I said it with my chest.
Say with your chest. Anyways, but that's what's up.
Anyway.
That's good.
Anyway.
That's good. That's good. That's a good perspective on a B day. Dang, I'm jealous. I don't have a B day for till February.
Well, but the thing is, I don't normally. This is like I'm walking into you having a new perspective and framework about my birthday, because I do have a bit of a complex about it. My birthday's July 3rd, so most would think no big deal. Everybody's off the next day. But everybody's traveling or with family. When I was growing up, I mostly spent my birthdays with my dad. So even growing, and it's because it's in the summertime, it never was celebrated during school. So,
dang. What?
Were you copying me?
No, I was licking my mustache.
Oh.
My mustache was
You got
wet.
some Popeyes left over?
No, I was like licking it, and then I was just like licking it, and then you wiped your face, and I was like, I gotta wipe my face.
Thought it was a sign I needed to wipe my face.
Oh no, that'd be rude. I'll just tell you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm
sorry.
I'll be like,
my greatest fear is for somebody to not tell me that there's something on my face.
well, this is the worst person, because I will not tell you something on your face.
Okay.
I'm the type of person to see.
Please tell me. If you could fix it if a person can fix something within 30 seconds, the common courtesy is to tell them. But anyway.
No, I'm just being honest. Like I've seen people. You know how many times I've been at church and see somebody with makeup, like lipstick on their lips, on their teeth, and I'm just like, Sister Mary was so nice today. She was looking gorgeous. You can't. And then somebody would tell them, "Oh, you didn't say nothing." I'm like, I don't know what to say. Or like, oh, the notorious is the food.
Food in the teeth.
Yeah, I just start doing this.
I think most people do.
And then I'm like, if y'all don't catch jam, like, that's on you. You don't feel it. You don't feel your teeth. I feel my teeth all the time.
You don't feel anything on your face at all? Yeah, but the teeth thing usually, but sometimes you don't have the tools you need to get what you need out, and you don't know that it's like as obvious.
That's true.
That's why you need a good friend to tell you.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe you'll change in your 30s.
Maybe. I mean, I tell my friends, but I usually don't tell, like, if I'm like sitting there having a conversation.
But you wouldn't tell me.
I mean, I would tell you. I don't know. I don't know how I'll put it yet.
So back to my birthday complex.
Sorry.
But I was just saying, most of the time I get birthday blues, is my point. Like I normally am feeling like nobody's here, nobody's going to be available. Why even put in, the effort to make plans? I just be feeling like, a second thought for people, and it also reflects like how I treat other people's birthdays too. I really don't remember birthdays well, so I feel like I get what I give to an extent, but also, I kind of create an environment to get that, to receive that. So anyway, not making excuses, but it's going to be a new time, 32. We're walking into celebrating myself throughout the month. It doesn't have to be that weekend. It's just reframing. And there are people who do want to celebrate me and celebrate with me. And so it's just about creating the opportunity for all that to come together. So I'm excited to figure out what that looks like, though.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Shout out to Allie.
Yeah, thanks.
Tell her happy birthday. Well,
next Monday.
So this comes out after your birthday.
That's okay. Whatevs.
I'm
celebrating all month.
Yeah, tell her every day.
Every day. Oh.
That'd be crazy. Somebody every day. Happy birthday, by the way. Happy Tuesday. Happy Wednesday. That's funny. But that's what's up. I'm glad you had a good week.
How was your week?
I don't know, honestly. Listen, I thought today my week is thrown off. I don't know what's going on with my week. I mean, I got an idea, but my week has just been, like I said, I feel like I've been like, usually I'm on a hamster wheel, but I usually feel like I'm on a hamster wheel with a goal and a purpose. Now, like I explain like this. usually I'm on a treadmill, but there's like, there's like a goal, there's a TV in front of me. Right now, I feel like I'm on a treadmill in a gym that's like a stone wall gym, and I'm just running. It's like the old school one that don't tell you how many calories you're burning,
or have a TV on it.
Yeah, so I'm just like running. I'm like, how do I know when I'm done?
You running at the wall?
Yeah, like what am I doing? And it's hard to explain. It's always weird for me when I'm not doing anything productive, because it's like, what am I doing? That might not. That's not. I don't think that's good. But I always feel like if I'm not doing anything productive, I'm doing absolutely nothing.
Is that since like what happened with the car, or before that?
Definitely since it happened with the car. Because with the car, I had things to constantly work on, and I was working toward improving skills and learning things like that, and like getting more iterations. And obviously gonna come back when I have record more stuff, but. Like obviously having nothing and like just sitting there like I literally sat here for like the last 2 weeks and just sat like I'm like what do I do?
Well, because it's also your notebook, your journal. I don't mean to bring
my
that
identity
back up, but yeah, like, and all the ideas and things when you run out of things to do, come back to so that you can do.
Losing that journal made me understand how Drake felt when he lost his BlackBerry. I don't know if you remember that back in the era of Drake when he lost his BlackBerry with all his lyrics on it. He had a BlackBerry with all his like he'll write verses and write songs in his BlackBerry, and he lost it. And he was like traumatized by it. When I was younger, I'm like, man, nigga tripping, bro. You hella rich, get another BlackBerry, whatever. But now I know how it feels, because like everything in that backpack could have went.
You know what?
Journal.
I had a friend in a similar situation, and we went to Long Beach together, and her phone, I don't remember if her phone got water damaged or if it just tripped out, but basically it wiped out all her notes. It restored everything, and all of her creative ideas were on her notes. I'm thinking about my notes now that I'm saying this, and it hadn't been backed up, I think, for a year, or maybe not a year, but it hadn't been backed up for a while. So she lost everything and was just devastated. And I remember feeling for her, but, kind of seeing you go through that, see her go through that. One of my favorite artists also wrote a song about losing his flash drive with I think all the work for his upcoming album. One of his upcoming albums, lost all of it in Paris. And so, yeah, I have multiple places where my ideas are. But I don't know. I feel I can understand where you're coming from. Even if I lost one of those pieces, I would still feel flustered and like, I don't know.
Well, I think that's the thing too. Like the journal for me was more one of those things where like, if I had my journal, like I could lose my phone. I don't care, because I have, who would steal a journal, right? Mm-hmm. It's just a book. So when that was gone, I said, I've never, like I said, I'm not going to back up a journal.
Yeah.
Like this is literally, this is raw and uncut. This is like, what I'm saying? Like I'm really getting to it, and trash. But anyways, I was just, it's made me, but I will say that, but that is also why one of the main reasons why I push doing content anyway, is because imagine now, obviously it's hard to imagine, but imagine if we had all those episodes, like we did some, like what some people say is like recorded 5 episodes in reserve, and then we had all the episodes in reserve instead, and we never posted the episodes that we had. That to me is what I think about, because I'm like, at least we have the episodes that we have out.
Yeah. You know what? I'm glad you said that. On my old podcast, that's what we used to do. We would record all of our episodes in a weekend, and then edit them and push them out. So we would have been kind of
demoralized.
Yes. Yes. I feel like we lost just one episode once. Like we recorded it, but then it didn't record or something. Oh, I remember being so devastated.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like happy about at least having that workflow where it's like stuff is consistently going out and not being afraid to push the publish button. And that's like something I've always pushed hard for myself on, is like, yeah, I might, because even with the Creative Balance Show, like I was going to wait till I had a certain amount in the pocket to start posting. But instead of whatever it was, someone told me like just set a hard date and however many you have at that point to start posting. And that's what I started doing. And I'm happy I did because I can only imagine what it would be if all those things were out there. Not the face. But
sorry.
On that, I want to, I want to talk about, while we're here, we might as well get into it. Loss. Dealing with loss. I feel like this is a perfect time for both of us to have this conversation.
Okay, but
what?
Before we get started.
They're a little ashy. It's all right. Y'all gonna have to judge me.
I don't want your family coming for me before we get into the deep stuff.
Y'all see it. It's not that bad today. Y'all
no, I feel like they're pretty solid, honestly.
Listen, I just got dead skin on my knees. I just need to go get a pet egg or something and just...
You know what?
Or a loofah.
One thing, and this maybe I can draw this to what you were asking me about, but I recently bought this Himalayan salt
scrub.
Not a scrub, it's a bar soap. So it's like, so it scrubs the skin, dead skin off your body. In my opinion, in a much more effective but kind of rough way. You only need to do it maybe once a week, but that could be probably pretty good. Because yeah, for your knees, you might need like a
cute knee journey coming 2024.
Yeah,
I can wear shorts out here and not be judged.
You shouldn't be judged right now, though. So
you know how that goes.
Anyway, such is life. Such is life. Just as grief and loss.
In other words, y'all ain't. Anyways, but yeah, I think it would be perfect. Like obviously with the situation we just talked about, me losing the equipment and whatnot, and I feel like we're both dealing with loss in different ways, but I think it's important to explore that because it's something that is common.
Yeah.
Like there's not. I think about over the past of my life, I've been thinking about like different things that I've lost and recovered and never, whatever, and I'm like. Yeah, it's like a normal thing that like things come and go,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I want to kind of ask you like how does it feel dealing with loss as an adult, Like, what's your personal like a view on loss as you got older?
I feel like more accepting. But it's still more difficult emotionally to grapple with because as an adult, I understand the complexity of feelings more than I did as a kid. So there's a way in which that helps to make the grief process more bearable because logically I can make sense of why I've lost what I've lost. Or sometimes spiritually I can make sense of why I've lost what I've lost. But as a kid, there's no depth. There's no depth about what, what I mean? Like, I'm not saying there's no depth in child thinking or even in adolescent thinking, but it's different when you can see loss as also a gift and, or you can see the gift in a loss, I should say. And that takes maturity. That takes, in my opinion, some form of spirituality too. But anyway, that's I don't know. For me, it's as an adult, just more spiritual, more. It's easier to find the lessons and the why. I don't think it's as easy to arrive at as a kid. I think as a kid or as when I'm younger, it was a lot more like, why'd this happen to me? Why'd they have to go right now? Or why'd I lose X, Y, or Z? I didn't deserve that. But it's not about like what you deserve. It's not about what other people deserve. It's just a part of life. Change is really the only constant. And loss is part of that constant change.
Well, it's funny too when I think about loss. When I think about loss, I think about this story. Like the story keeps coming to mind, and I'm gonna say it is that like part of loss is like kind of realizing that things keep going. I remember there's a story, and I can't remember if it was from a book or I heard it I read it in an article, or I absorbed so much information. But I remember a girl was telling a story about how she learned the lesson of like things basically exist even when it's not in her presence. She was talking about how she had a bear and she lost the bear in the rose bushes when she was a kid. Never knew where it was at until one day somehow either she fell or tripped or whatever happened. She found herself in the rose bushes again, and she found this bear, but the way the bear was in there, like some of it was bleached from the sun, and like the way that she left it, she had this, memory of what it looked like, and now that she found it later, it's like completely different, completely different thing. Like, and it's like you think when you find something, you'll find it again. It's like it'll be in the same state, but it's like this thing is what. Even when I wasn't around, this thing was still changing, and that's what I think about loss as I get older. Where it's like sometimes I get so caught up in like that thing, or get caught up in like trying to maintain the. Because a lot of time when I feel like lost, it don't be the loss of the object, it be loss of that moment or the moments with the object and things like that, or whatever it is, situation. Yeah, the feelings with it, and then. But I'm starting to realize as I get older, is like with that. I mean, things keep going on.
And can I add to that? Things keep going on, and also loss creates space for gain.
Yeah,
and that's the other thing I think. As you start getting older, you start to recognize too is once the grief will pass, and when it does pass, you then have space to replace what was lost with something new that gives you perhaps the same feelings or the same gift that once was being given, but in a new way, or else you're being given way more or something completely different that you need now.
Yeah,
that's more relevant.
Yeah,
to who you are right now.
Yeah.
So a season you're in, and that's with people, that's with things, that's with feelings and experiences, opportunities.
So what's the most challenging part of like overcoming loss for you personally?
When it's attached to rejection.
Yeah.
I think like natural loss is something I can accept easily, especially like, when, for example, like, my grandpa is kind of sick right now, and I accept like part of life is loss, and for me logically can make sense of making the most of the time we have left. But when people choose to not engage with me, I'll use dating specifically because I think that's where loss is hardest for me. It's with friends too. Like being rejected in friendship or being rejected romantically is just like, but why? Especially if I feel, in that time, like very much like it feels like it makes sense. Like, why leave? Why do I have to experience this loss? And why do you want to experience this loss when it's unexplained? But I also am starting to come to accept that like everybody's not for me and I'm not for everybody. And so rejection each time it happens gets easier, but it's also still something that is difficult to grapple with. And it does, it can eat away at your confidence if you give it a lot of power and space, which I have done for a little too long, I think.
Do you feel like getting the why helps with loss?
Not always. I think what's most important with a loss is what am I supposed to take from this? And sometimes what you take from something is not going to be why someone left or why you lost them. Sometimes it's going to be the gift of wisdom in a completely different, or bigger area of your life. I wish I could give like a more specific, example, but I'm kind of mind blanking.
Yeah, I only asked because I remember talking to my therapist about it. I remember she was telling me like closure's a scam. And
I agree.
Yeah, like as far as closure, as far as like if this person just told me why they cheated on me, like I would be so much better off because then I can do. And she told me like that. It doesn't matter why they did it.
There are some things that do haunt me, but something that I more and more I get okay with not needing to know the why.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Certain people, it just kind of depends. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to be perfect with, you know, needing answers, because there are some people I really do want answers from, but if I never get those answers, I think I can still move on peacefully.
Yeah.
But you know, I do think closure is a scam. I think that, again, what am I supposed to take from this? What's the lesson for me? It's not going to come from other people. It's going to come from within and from God if you're connected in that way.
Yeah. And I feel like, too, as far as like you saying it comes from what you learn from it, to add to that, it might even be like kind of just, I know me personally, I always try to see things very objectively, where it's like, if I know I did nothing wrong, it's easy for me to get over it. Or if I know I put my best effort forward, for me, it's like, as far as like closure, like that's enough closure for me. Cause like, I remember when I was younger, I used to be like, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? But I had to get over that notion of like, this ended because of something I did. And like, even though there might be truth to that, that's what I'm looking for. What did I do in the situation, and did that or did it not lead to an outcome? And then assessing that for me helps me get closure. Cause like me figuring out why my girlfriend left me, she could tell me literally everything that's on her mind. I still be like, but I don't get where that even came from. You know, like, so I just have to get over that. But yeah, that's what I think about a lot of times. I think for me, I think the hardest loss for me probably is more friends. Only because the why is not usually like why. The why is usually like more ethereal. Like, how do we come so far apart? We were so close. Like, cause you know, you think about it, we were so close. Like, how do we end up here? And that's always the hardest part for me. Cause I'm like, how do we end up? That's all I ask myself. Like, how do we end up here? How do we kick it every day? Know each other's moms by first name, and like now we just like okay with not seeing each other. You know?
Yeah.
And like,
how many friends have you lost?
Me?
Yeah, grown apart from, or.
It's a tough question. I feel like I'm still friends with a lot of people, but I would be lying to say I feel like I'm close friends with a lot of people. I think a lot of my high school friends, I could still reach out to them, but we don't hang out on the same level. And I don't think it's either. I just think life changes. You know, people get their own situations, and you get your own. And then like also like, you know, traveling and things like that. Like, you know, me leaving Fresno, it's hard to, you know, if you don't have anything that's really connecting each other together, it's hard to maintain those things. So if I say how many friends I've lost, technically the only ones that moved, but I would say I had a big core group of like 5 friends, but I'm probably close to only like 1 now.
Ooh, okay. You know, I don't have a core group of friends anymore. I used to have that with my sorority, but you know, since graduating and like you said, people move, people start having families, and like their priorities shift. So I feel like I've gone through a lot of loss and change in friendships, and I've become a little numb to it, to be honest, where it doesn't hurt as much to lose friends, because some people I feel like I've even opted out of the friendship, you know, but for me, it's like how the friendship comes apart that is hurtful and difficult, not the actual loss itself. You know what I mean? But I don't know if that's, I would be curious if like those who listen to us, if they would agree with this stance, but I feel like women in particular have a harder time keeping long-term friendships in comparison to men. I would say, I mean, I'm not a woman, but just like gauging my sister and her friends, some guy made a joke, comedian made a joke. He's like, there's just 2 girls and they said they've been friends for 4 years. He's like, oh snap. He's like, that's a long time. Congratulations. He's like, usually girls' friends usually have like a 2-year shelf life. Oh, okay. That was, okay. No, that's, I don't know. That's not true, but I would say like our friendship lifespans are as long as we're in a particular season, I would say. So for me, it was like college and undergrad. There's a season where I was very close with my sorority sisters. Even in high school, there was a season where I was particularly close with my friends from high school, or even from particular work environments, friends while I was in that line of work until I wasn't in that line of work, you know, until I wasn't in that particular environment anymore. And now I'm not in a lot of environments where I have the space to make friends that can be friends of convenience, if you will. I feel like that's kind of how women develop and maintain our friendships, based on the convenience of the environments we're in.
That makes sense.
You know, but
because I feel like at least personally, me and I think like my dad and like my cousin. I know it's from those relationships. It seems like men are able to. I don't say women can't do this, but I just think about how we do it. Me and my cousin and my dad. I think there's a lot of compartmentalizing friends, like understanding the space that we're friends in. Mm-hmm. You know, this might be my football friend, but this might not be my business friend.
See, that's where I feel like it's kind of good for you, and where we're different. I feel like you process very logically first, so your feelings don't get in the way. But for me, my feelings are the first thing that I'm processing. Logic comes after I've felt everything I'm feeling, unfortunately. Something I'm working on, but I don't have it yet. So, but with friends, you know, friendship is emotional as a connection, period. So I don't know. I don't know. Actually, hold on.
I think it's perfect to get into this conversation because I know we were talking about weeks prior. I think this is before we even did the reparations episode. That it was that clip of The Hangover. Did I show you that clip?
You didn't show me the clip.
You remember the clip of The Hangover? I think it's Hangover 3. Have you seen Hangover 3?
Yeah.
When they're all back in the car and they're just like, "Baby, we're back!" And they're like, you know, they're ultra excited to be in the car together. And like watching that made me think of like those, like basically like I made me think of my group of friends I was just telling you about, and like, you know, thinking about when we did, cause we have all got back together before post is all not hanging out like we used to, and it was exactly like that thing when we're back, and it's like not a beat skipped.
That's how it is with me and my sorority sisters.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just the keeping up with each other that we struggle with.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, do you feel like there's a key to remaining friends with as you get older?
Yeah, I do. Well, it's twofold, because for some it's the keeping up, but in other regards it's like leaving space for people to be who they are and meet them where they're at. And I feel like that in romantic relationships too. So I just feel like giving people space to be who they are and where they're at is important. And it's much easier said than done for me with certain people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you can figure out how to do that for anybody, I feel like you can maintain some really good friendships that, you know, some are not made to be held to the standard of let's check in every day or let's check in every month. Some friendships thrive just checking in when you get to see each other, when you can plan for it. And that might be 2 years, 3 years, 10 years later, but you pick up where you left off and you love each other just as much. Those friendships, I think, are still just as beautiful and worth appreciating. And it took me a long time to get to the point of not resenting those sort of friendships, because for a long time I used to want and expect my friends to keep up with me like I was trying to keep up with them. But then I stopped being able to keep up like that. And, you know, I started to realize, damn, these expectations are difficult for me to keep up. I really can't feasibly ask other people to do that. I should really just accept and love folks for who they are. And if folks aren't able to give me what I need, that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But everybody doesn't need to give me what I need. Most importantly, I need to be able to give me what I need. So if I'm not able to do that for me, then there's no reason I should be really asking other people. The only time I feel like it's important to be able to ask other people to give you something you can't give yourself is if you really need help, you know, and they have it. They have the help to give, and they offer the help to give.
I feel that.
I don't know.
I will send out financial though.
Not financially. No, I don't mix money with friends unless we're like going out to eat and we're both like, we're treating each other. That's the most that will do anyway.
No, I was just saying that for the manipulators out there. Like, see what they saying? If he's really not financially.
Not financially, yeah, no.
No, if your friend got money, you need money. That's your problem.
I'm talking about a listening ear.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're talking about free things.
Okay.
We're talking about things that cost time.
Free 99.
I just had to put that out because.
No, thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, especially as we get older. You know, I don't know. I'm pretty brazen and bold when I say this. I feel like to remain friends, and I know it sounds crazy, but this is truly how I feel. I feel like you have to put the same effort that you would put into a relationship, as far as like romantic relationship. That's the same effort you have to put into your friendships to maintain them.
Agreed.
Like, you can't, like, I get it. Like, it's easy for us to understand, like, oh, we have to go on date nights and, you know, be attentive, stuff like that. Like, we understand that in a romantic relationship, but it's like, wow, when somebody feels like, oh, we haven't hung out in like a month, like, you know, and somebody's feeling a way about that. It's like, nigga tripping, bro. I'm not his girlfriend. I'm not his boyfriend. I'm not her boyfriend. I'm not his girlfriend, whatever. And I feel like that's not a right mentality to have, because I do feel like all relationships need to be maintained. And I'm not saying like your friend should demand it, maybe. I would say your friend can demand that, but I think it's when you guys had a discussion, like, you know, maybe we're just not as close as we used to be, or whatever, you know, whatever that devolves into. But I do feel like, me personally, I try to put the same effort that I will put into a relationship in my friendships, because if we're being honest, like, a lot of times those relationships last longer than romantic relationships. Like, my friends have been there through they know multiple women that I've dated. So for me to like put them on the back burner when a new girl comes in my life, to me, it's kind of disrespectful. It's kind of disrespectful to them, because like they were there, whatever version I was.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So that's I feel like the key for me as far as keeping my friendships, and like even where I started to devolve some of my friendships was like, how serious do you take this? And you know, like, you know, is it like I gotta pull teeth to get to talk to you and hang out with you? Mm-hmm. You know, or is this something, or are we able to have open dialogue about whatever, you know, like, where it's kind of like examining through that lens, like I would basically a romantic partner.
Yeah, it's mutual participation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I agree. I would agree, but I do think that there are some great friendships out there that can't operate at that level. And
100%.
You know, I could still call those people my best friends or my great friends, you know. But there's only a handful of people that I'm willing to put that level of energy towards.
Yeah.
You know. So, I've also learned with friendships, it's kind of important for me to preserve my energy and not be super accessible to a bunch of people who I would ideally like to be friends with, but don't have the capacity to be friends with.
Yeah.
Like that, you know? So, yeah, I don't know.
I think, like I said, obviously, I don't think it's a one size fits all. I think it depends.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I got people like more like my cousin who I talk to every week, at least, usually more than once, but at least every week I talk to him. And I got friends that I talk to every month, maybe even further, you know, or some people I just reach out to them when it's events happening, you know.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes. I mean, I think it's a respect thing at the same time too. But I do want to ask you, like, let me get corny.
Okay.
What's something you want those friends that you're probably not as close to anymore to know? Let's get corny. Not a damn thing. I'm scared. Y'all know where it's at.
Caught me off guard there. Because it really depends. There are some friends that just a couple that I'm more angry with. Mm-hmm. So, but that's for me to sort through. So the people who are not in that even those who I'm upset with, I'm working on forgiving them. But at the same
No,
time,
fuck y'all.
yeah.
I don't care. She ain't gonna say it. Fuck y'all.
I was just talking to my therapist about how I don't know how to process my anger. So what Najara said, but can you ask the question again? I forgot about because I started getting angry.
I said, what's something that you want those friends that you're no longer friends with that you want them to know?
I mean, I appreciate the friendship that we had. For what it was, and for me, like, you know, I hope there's no love lost, no bad blood. For me, sometimes I think people are in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And for those who have been in my life for a season or just a reason, thank you. Those who are in my life for a lifetime, I love you. That's what I have to say.
I feel it.
Sending love to those who are not in my life either, but
yeah,
I don't have anything thoughtful to say. I don't have anything prepared. So what would you say? It's my question. Maybe you'll inspire other thoughts for me.
What would I say? It's a good question. I would say this. Whatever space that we are as friends, you know, whether we're close or if we're distant or we don't talk anymore, I will say, at least for my position, it was never personal. I want that to be known. Like, I don't have any bad blood with anybody. Even those who may have did me wrong, I have no bad blood. It was nothing personal at all. It was just, you know, what it is. I don't think, when I think of all my friendships, I don't have, you know, it's not anybody that I'm avoiding. I think I still have love for everybody I've touched, and I think if those people reach out to me, I will still reach back. Like, it's not, I don't have anybody blocked for real. Like, people are blocked. A person is blocked. And like, even then, like, I would still talk to that person. Like, it's really just a personal thing for me. But yeah, I would say that, like, my friends, like, one, I love them. I love all of them in all the spaces that I met them in. And yeah, like, if we're not as close as we used to, like, it's really not personal. Also, don't be afraid to reach out. Me personally, don't be afraid to reach out.
That. Yeah, don't be afraid to reach out. I would say that too.
Because I know I've been in that space before, and I still battle that, where it's like, I haven't talked to this person in years, or I haven't talked to this person in months, or I haven't talked to this person in weeks, or I haven't talked to this person in days, and I'm like, I'm waiting till they text me. And I don't think that's right, because then you get in that stalemate. And yeah, I will say this to people who may have a friend in mind when they hear this. I would say reach out to that friend, and I'm not saying like rekindle that friendship, but I would say reach out to that person you're thinking about, and at least just say to them, like, hey, I hope you're doing good.
Yeah. I would add to that, like, I'm not going to say that all the people that I'm not friends with anymore, I feel positive towards or I'm not mad at, because there are some people that I feel that way about. I'm not happy with you, and I personally would prefer, if we talk, to tell you the truth. But that's, for me, where I stand in terms of people. I have a lot of painful coming aparts with friends in my history, and some of it's my own doing, and I would say also I'm sorry if I contributed to any hurt or any, like, mistreatment, because that was never my intention. But in terms of, like, if I'm angry, I am angry with certain people. There's a particular person I'm thinking about right now. I recently decided that, you know, we are not friends, at least for me. And, you know, it takes a lot for me to get to a place where I don't want to be friends anymore. So I don't know. I think there's also a place where I'm different. That's what else I would say to people is I've changed. I'm not looking to be friends necessarily with some people again, because I've changed and I don't feel like we resonate anymore. And rather than try to force resonance, force connection that I feel like has expired for me, respectfully, I wish you well, and I wish you find a friend that can provide you what we once had. And I wish I had the same thing. I get to receive the same thing.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't feel really loving or really, I'm not saying that there's no love, sending no love to the person. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's just, I don't feel gentle.
Stay where you
about
at.
it. Yeah, stay where you're at, kind of, unless you really feel like there's something we need to resolve on your end. But for me, I have nothing to really resolve. I get a lot of my closure from me and God. To your point, I'm not searching for closure from any of those people.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to reopen anything with any of those people. I'm personally looking to figure out how to release my anger or my sadness and move on. So,
That's
respect to those people, though, and thank you for being my friend at any point in my life, especially if I was a difficult friend, because I know I have been in the past.
For that. I think it's dope, too, to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
But on the note of cutting off friends, you know what you got to do after that, right?
What?
Make new friends.
Yes.
The best place to make friends?
Coffee shops.
I was going to say the club. But coffee shops work.
The club is a great place to make a, overnight, just like a tonight friend. Like,
Some of the best moments happen with tonight friends.
It's true. Like, girls help each other out in the bathroom at the club. That's what I'm talking about. Like, we're friends for tonight. We might follow each other on Instagram, like each other's pictures, but we, probably not going to remember you in a year from now how we started following each other.
Shout out to all the dudes, pause, that I met in the club and we had a moment and I never saw you again. Shout out to y'all. Shout out for having good vibes. You see somebody, I don't know, guys, this happen. I feel like this happens to me a lot. And I'm pretty sure it happens to guys where you're in the scene and you're already kind of awk, and then you always feel like you see the same person, and every time you see each other, like you guys are both hyping each other up. Shout out to that person. Y'all are the unsung heroes. Yeah, the unsung. But the reason I bring up the club is because obviously we talked about men are staying in the house more.
Oh yeah, we did talk about that.
Yeah, men are staying in the house more. But I also read an article from 2016 that generally Generation Y, aka the millennials, don't even like the club. But then the club is actually mid. So I kind of wanted to go into the conversation of staying in the house. Obviously, the way we talked about it, we'll go broad and then we'll go deeper.
Okay.
So obviously, there was an article 2016 I was reading because I was trying to learn more about it. And I guess if I found out that people, millennials specifically, think the club is trash and they just find better enjoyment staying in the house or alternative forms of entertainment, whether that be going out to get something to eat or going to bigger events like festivals.
Yeah, yeah.
So while reading that, made me really think about myself because I'm a Zillennial, I guess. I don't know. According to one minute I'm a millennial, one next minute I'm Gen Z. I don't care. I'm a Zillennial, and it makes me think about my own personal experience. And I'm not a club goer.
Yeah.
At all. I do find more enjoyment at home, and sorry, I'm so sorry I've disappointed you.
It's a sad day.
It just listen. I feel like the music. So before I get into it. Are you a club goer?
I love the club.
Yeah.
I don't go I honestly don't even go often.
Yeah.
But when I do go, girl is cutting up. She's cutting up on the floor. Like, I love to dance. I go to the club to dance. I don't go to meet dudes. I go to the club to dance, get a little tipsy with my girls, have a good time, maybe meet people and dance with people. But I don't go to with the intention of hoping to find a boo tonight. I really, as long as the DJ is good. But the club is trash if they're not playing the type of music you get down to.
So let me ask you then, what are the biggest things you like about the club?
I like dancing tipsy with other tipsy people. Okay. I think that's one of the best parts because, people have lowered inhibitions. So people are not judging. They're just having fun. They're just enjoying themselves. And I'm just enjoying myself, and I like learning new songs or hearing new songs and things like that because I'm kind of like you said, I'm old acting. I like to listen to the same songs unless people put me on or unless I'm put on at the club. I'm not really knowing what's in the top 40s, or unless I hear it on TikTok or something like that, from a YouTube short.
Not that. Ooh, what's that? What's that beat in the background?
What is that? Stop, because that's me all the time. Like, what song is that?
Shazam.
But I think there's a lot of good things about it, but also it is cringe. Like, it is kind of, as I started to get older, one of those places where I feel like it's nothing but men kind of lurking and looking at women, like, shark in the sea, shark in the ocean.
Yeah.
That part is very cringe to me and uncomfortable.
Shout out to the men. Shout out to all the awkward men. Well, I'm gonna play negative.
People.
Oh yeah, people in general. Mostly men.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll let y'all take that. That's fine.
But I don't know. I'm gonna act because I'm gonna say this.
Okay.
There's a benefit to the club. The benefit I see from the club is that, but see.
Do you think the club is like Tinder in real life?
Not at all.
You don't think it's the whole night of swiping left or right on people you're dancing with, basically?
Nah, I feel like you can get. I feel like it's easier to get swiped. Is it right or left? Which one's a good one? I've never been.
I don't remember. It's been so long.
Whatever one is the good one, I feel like it's easier to get swiped that way. In real life,
I think it's right.
It's easier to get swiped right on in person than it is on the app. But
you think so? No. The difference is, from what I understand, dudes just do swipe right to see how many matches they end up with, and then they choose from the matches that they get. Ladies, on the other hand, we're actually selective, and we're actually swiping based off of who we really have an interest in. So
I'm pretty sure you guys get more options too.
Yeah, but they're not real options. They're not dudes who are genuinely into you. You get a match with somebody and you're like, oh my goodness, only to never hear back because he just clicked yes and he's actually sifting through his options. Meanwhile, you were one of my top options.
I mean, yeah.
That's messed up.
The club's not the same way?
I don't think so. I think people are more likely to genuinely swipe left unless they're out there just looking to have sex and they don't really care that much.
People care in the club?
Yeah, I do.
You think the majority?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm an anomaly. I feel like I'm an anomaly. I feel like I am a good-hearted person at the club, so
yeah.
I would like to think there's a lot of other really good-hearted people there too, but I also don't frequent it regularly, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. If you go all the time, you know it's the same people in the club. That's what's grody about the club. And I'm not even a frequenter. I've only been a couple times, but I've seen the same people. I'm like, bro, I saw you last time I was here. What are you doing here? You're still in here? And you still using the same move?
Nah, if you go into the club all the time like that, I don't know. You got to, especially if you're drinking like that, you got to be careful.
Oof.
You know.
But I was going to say this. I feel like the club is like, it's like Yahtzee. No, it's like the stars aligning. For the club experience to be good, I feel like so many things have to line up. Because if it's too expensive, expectations set off.
Oh.
You know, things like that.
That's
or
the dude's problem.
Or like, because the girls get in free, huh?
Most of the time, if not, we're not paying that much.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if there's a, I'm gonna be real. I'm at the point where if it's a cover charge, like,
even if it's $5,
hell yeah. You know how many times I've been to a club that was like $5, $10, and we go in there and they're like, oh, let's go to the next one. Nigga, what? Go to the next what? We just spent 10 to get up in the door.
No, I've been there. I get that. I do get that.
That's what I'm saying. Like it sounds like, oh, it's only, but a lot of times we don't. At least the last time I went, we did not stay in the same one, and they don't let you back in. By the way, you can't keep coming in and out unless you're standing right there. You can't leave. Come back to them. What's up? Get your ass back in the line.
You're right.
So I would say, like,
yeah,
I feel like this for a club, stars have to align to have a good club experience for me.
I agree. That's why I don't go often. So when I do go, usually the stars are all aligning. because it's rare that I actually go, so it'll be like, okay, look, I haven't been out here in a while, so I'm like grateful to be here, grateful to be outside with my girls, you know.
So I wanted to talk about, because obviously I'm highly against the club, but we're talking, the main reason I wanted to bring it up because we're talking about how men are staying in the house, and like, even though
after lurking in the manosphere again,
shout out to the manosphere, but as I was reading more about it, I'm starting to understand it.
You know what? I bring it up to dudes and they also say the same thing. So tell me more.
I never thought about it because I don't go often. The club is a very impersonal place.
And dudes are looking to get personal?
Yeah.
Tell me more, because, actually, I do. I guess I
was like, you think all men are impersonal?
I said in a previous episode that I think that men are emotionally constipated. So it surprises me that men are hungry for non-superficial environments when that's what they put out in the environment a lot of the time. But yeah, I'm curious to know more.
Interesting.
That's why it bothers me that men are not going outside as a well, okay. This is based on the video that I watched. So I know that there's more reasons I'm sure that guys aren't going outside, right? But I came across this video and it was basically saying men aren't going outside because, the buy-in is not high for men. It's like getting dressed up, going to a club. That's for women, is what men say. Men don't need that to have a good night. They can stay inside, game, spend way less money, and have just as good of a time with the boys. And I'm like, that's fair. But it's not even just the club. It's also like going to movies. It's going to hang out at coffee shops. It's just having a presence in society that I think is interesting to opt out of. And, if you're unsatisfied with your experiences in the outside, then my thought is like, instead of walk away, why don't you do some work to help inspire change in those environments so you can enjoy them?
Yeah.
But especially because men have so much pull and influence over the shape of society.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, but
go ahead.
It just seems like a selfish and kind of immature way to respond to engaging in authenticity in society. Like, you want to just go and create your own world at home because humans are created to connect, not to be in isolation. And so, I don't know. I think it's a privilege. It's a male privilege to be able to do that. Because as I said, I don't think women have friendships for as long. We don't have like the convenience of long-term trust in friendships.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what you need in order to create environments like that where, I was reading in a comment, one dude said, yeah, I don't even go to the gym anymore. I've got an at-home gym. Me and my boys all come over. We do our gym night, our gym day. Then we talk, we eat, and we hang out. And I'm like, oh, that sounds lit.
Yeah.
And that's great. But like women, I don't know. I'm sure there are women out there who have that. I don't. I don't. And I'm jealous. So maybe that's where I
would I can't say anything about that because when I had my apartment, shout out to CJ and Marcus. That's exactly what we did. I had my own gym. They'll come over. We'll work out a little bit. Go in the apartment, eat.
Bro, go running at the gym. Not at the gym, but at the park. Can't you do that at the park and like still be accessible to potentially meeting people, inviting people to join that energy if you feel like they're trustworthy? I guess you don't have to be open.
I don't think but I would say that because I don't know. From what the video sounds like, maybe it's framed in a way that like people are doing it to avoid people. We weren't doing it to avoid people. We just truly enjoyed it. So we're doubling down on what we enjoy. Like,
the manosphere is saying it as a reaction to women. Men don't want to go outside because there's not enough quality women to date. One, or two, because of social media and dating apps. they can find whatever they're looking for on their phone. So it's like there's no incentive to go outside. The outside world is really just for women, and men can just get all of the wonders of the world on delivery at home.
I mean, I like that. I mean, I'm with that, because I do feel like I feel like I've dated girls, not dated girls. I've like tried to talk to girls, and I didn't realize your social media presence means a lot
For women?
for some women. Yeah, for actually, I would think a lot of modern day women. Yeah, if you look whack on social media.
Like, wait. If a woman looks whack, or if a dude looks whack to a woman?
If a woman looks at your page and your page, I remember I didn't even know this. If a girl goes on your page and goes to your followers and finds out you follow a bunch of women, or if who you're following is I didn't even know that was a thing. They go to your page like, say who you're following, like, oh no, he followed too many women.
Unfollow.
Yeah, I'm not messing with him. So it's like stuff like that was like,
oh man, I should have. Anyway.
Like I didn't know that was a thing, and like it
says a lot. If all you're following is women, it's very clear what you're here for.
Yeah, I mean that's not always true though.
It's not.
No.
I don't know, if a dude has thousands of people that they're following, and a majority of
that's
them,
crazy.
yeah, we're talking about, or even if you're at 1,000, let's say 1,500 ish people, and most of the names, most of the images are women. No, thank you.
Wow.
You give player vibes, especially if it's not like including any. Is that you?
But no, I'm like I was shout out to my girlfriend. I think I found out my statistics. I'm 50-50.
That's good. That's what it should be.
Yeah, it's 50-50.
That's what it should be.
Some people feel like that might be a lot. That might be too much. I communicate with a lot of people. I don't follow celebrities, so
I think it should be 50-50, but or even with mixed with like, brands or like celebs that you might really like. But I don't know. It's just
gross.
It's gross. It gives me the ick, big ick. Now I'm about to go look through old dudes just to see. It's a good measurement also to an extent of like a dude's interest.
But see, something like that, it's like, well, why am I? I stay at home. Judge me from here. Judge me from a space that I'm good at.
I mean, that's what y'all are doing anyway, so.
Yeah. I mean, I go out. I got, like I said, every time I ever dated a girl, I knew her in person. I've never met a girl over social media ever. And I don't even know how to do it. That's why I say, like, listen, shout out to all y'all that could date on social media and stuff like that. Like, I don't even know how y'all even jump in DMs. For me, it's like, I got to see you in person, then I feel more confident. I can't go like, especially because that's what's so weird to me when I hear about this conversation, that it's easier. I guess it is easier, but like for me, at least for me, it's not easier to date online. But I guess I can make sense that if you can create a nice portfolio and got this aesthetic, and you know what I'm saying, you got this feel. Yeah, I feel like the door is way easier to get a girl. Like, look at him, he paints. Look, he has a nice car. Look, he's always hanging out with his boys. Look, he's personal. Look at that baby. That's his niece. Look at him. He could have my baby. I feel like it's like, I got an idea of who he is already based off his page, versus like, if you meet somebody face to face, you got to still do some discerning.
Exactly. And that's what we need. Dudes out here bamboozling women's, or I should say us. Making it seem like they're good dudes out here, when the reality is on their Instagram, they're following nothing but ladies.
Shout out to them.
Shout out to them.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like, me personally, it's hard to put myself in this position, but I feel like this. Yes, the buy-in to going out to the club is a lot. When it comes to Ubers, and it comes to buying drinks, and it comes to bouncing from club to club, and it comes to, we also got to go realize that as a generation in general, we're just way more busy in general. It's like, yeah, man, if I have limited energy and I can hang out with my boys and play Fortnite all night, and also swipe right on some girls on Tinder, that sounds like the way better alternative than going out there, getting ready, go get my hair cut. Don't get me wrong, like I personally like that, like getting ready and like just being Don't
Dude
judge
said
me.
that's in the chat. That's what dudes are like. Dudes don't care about getting dressed or getting ready to go out to the club.
Them is bums.
I was thinking to myself, I was like, that's a lie. Dudes like to look fresh. Dudes like to look crisp. Y'all out here lying because
But
you'll stand in line for a nice Supreme something or for Jordans or for whatever. And where will you want to wear those? For ladies to go and see.
that's where y'all missed.
Oh, it's not for us?
No, we do it for the niggas. Pause.
Okay.
I only say that because yeah, while the byproduct, like partially it's like, yeah, we're gonna look good for the girls, but I'm pretty sure most dudes, it might not be conscious, but most dudes love that feeling where a nigga come on, I see you. Oh, you see what I did?
Okay.
You got them new grapes, huh? You like,
I wish
I
dudes,
waited a 9 all.
I wish dudes could channel that understanding when women say we dress up for ourselves too.
Yeah.
Because dudes act like we don't do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to look good. We want to be seen. We want to, meet dudes. But at the same time, we love that feeling too when a girl's like, "Girl, where did you get those shoes?
Yeah.
Where can I get them?
Yeah.
How much?" It's a whole conversation starter, So, yeah, I don't know.
I was gonna say, I'm not gonna say men don't dress up for women
I
because
think men are fronting.
a friend would.
Well, in terms of just like, I think y'all would be outside if it was more favorable to you. But because the outside seems less favorable to you and it's starting to seem more favorable to women,
Ain't that human nature? Equilibrium? I'm gonna go where it's in my favor.
No, because you know what? It's been in men's favor for most of history.
Yeah.
So now that things are shifting and women are starting to get a little bit more of a say, y'all just want to go sit down and have a little BF about it. Put your pants on, go shopping, and create a better environment in the club. Create a better environment at the gym. Create a better environment in those spaces. I mean, thank you.
I was like, y'all, we let y'all have that. We just gonna hang out where we hang out.
That's fine.
Listen, if y'all want to slap, what's her name? Big Lotto and all that. Y'all can have that.
If we want to, okay.
We just gonna stay at home and play fork knife.
and talk mess in the manosphere simultaneously.
I will say we do not talk about y'all on when we're playing the game.
No, I'm not talking. The manosphere is the internets of men.
I'm not. I guess
it's the man's algorithm. There's like a whole.
I'm not in the manosphere.
Maybe now it will come up since we're talking about it, and YouTube be listening to our conversations.
Yeah,
but
I don't want to be in the manosphere.
I mean,
like the stuff we talk about be funny stuff. Like I be talking
that's
like
in the manosphere too. But at the same, I'm not even gonna say because in the manosphere it's not always just like, extreme male activists. It's men across perspectives,
So is it just men?
Men speaking about men's perspectives on men's issues as it relates to the greater society.
Oh yeah, I don't watch stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think usually I watch like I'm a less serious person though, so I watch a lot of creatives. Like I watch the Rory and Mal show, so they talk about like
that'd be the manosphere too.
They got a girl in there, and shout out to Baby D.
Now,
They won.
Didn't they start off just the two of them?
Mm-mm. They started off on Joe Budden's podcast.
I know.
And then when they split up, Baby D was always working, and it was them two, but she was always in the background asking questions. She's the producer. And then they actually gave all the people behind the set a mic because that's just the trend of we also want to hear what they say. And shout out to Rory and Mal. I think great they compliment each other because Rory's in his 30s, Mal's in his 40s, and I guess you could say that's manosphere, but
I like Mal, but yeah, I do still feel like Rory can be offering some problematic perspectives that are very toxic. Yeah, that's manosphere stuff. Men like perpetuating and like explaining the toxicity away or trying to psychologize it, I guess is maybe the word I'm looking for. That's all manosphere talk. And it can be done with a woman present too. But when the focus is about, men's interests, men's lives, men's realities, it's manosphere.
I don't know. I guess I would go back and like analyze it, but I always feel like it's very open. Because even when I think about their live shows, they have this thing where they literally bring couples up and they go, we're gonna go through each other's phone. We're gonna go through you guys' phone and see. It's toxic, but they said they're gonna try to see.
When did they start doing that?
They started doing this last year when they're doing it, and they're
ripping off other YouTubers.
Huh?
They're ripping off other YouTubers.
I mean, ain't no idea original out here.
I guess.
Because they'll go on stage and they'll bring the people up and they'll go through each other's phones and basically see if they'll break up.
There's like a YouTuber that I've been following for a little more than a year. That's his thing, is doing loyalty tests in public places. But it's cool. Yeah.
Oh no, I saw that. Yeah.
You seen that?
Yeah,
I know A-Roll. That's one. I love. I know.
Who is
this? Even if I don't know if it's real or not sometimes. But
yeah, definitely theirs is real because they talked about a story about they had this one girl and her boyfriend left her and she was asking him for a ride. It's not funny, but yeah, they ended up giving her a ride. But
I mean, they ruined her life. She ruined her life.
Yeah,
but
it was all.
They were the vehicle.
Yeah, you joined in, but yeah, I guess I'm part of the if that's a Manosphere, shout out to the Manosphere because I have a great time in there. I be in there chilling.
Man, I went in there to comment because I was so sad by that. I almost got beat up. In there, but I had to tell him. I was like, listen, first of all, I was asked to elaborate on my point, and somebody got all sensitive saying I'm making this about me. I had to tell him, listen, I am not even in here to argue with y'all. I'm not in here.
I don't even know you.
I don't know you. I was just making a comment.
Yeah.
But men be very territorial over their space.
So I wanted to ask you then, like, I know you basically. I was watching a guy and Dr. McTalking. He was talking about as humans we exist in homeostasis. There's a balance, and when we push the new boundaries, the common thing for human behavior is to double down, and you have to resist the double down to set the new boundaries. Do you feel like this is what it is? Is like what's going to double down, man?
Yeah. That's how I feel like men respond when they don't get their way. They just double down and are more stubborn instead of collaborative, because that's the thing. I think it comes from a competitive spirit. I think competitiveness is more masculine than feminine. I think a feminine approach is more collaborative and compromising and accommodating. And women are mostly willing to work with men, I think. But it's when we're accosted by, negativity and blame, because that's really a lot of what I come across is women are to blame for why society sucks, why clubs suck, why going to the gym sucks, because of the Me Too movement. The world sucks. I can't do catcalling because women are too sensitive. It sucks. It's all women's fault that you can't have a good time like you used to. When the reality is we can mutually create a great world, but you have to participate in it. And if you choose to just isolate yourself to the people you like, then we're never going to have a harmonious world. I mean, obviously that's a grand idea to strive for anyway, but I don't know. This is
always when I hear this these points, I always get thrown off because I literally I must live in a bubble because my friends literally that's what I say, like I can't say I live in Manosphere because when I hear these, I literally don't know nobody who, at least personally in my life, who feels that way. Because I mean, for us, it's just, the game has just changed. That's really what it is. Is like I don't think. Like even my friends just went to the club in Canada. The game has just changed. I feel like a lot of people. I think there is a lot of people who are stubborn and like, I can't be brazzing with my attitude now. I can't be brazzing with it. I'm just gonna stay in the house. Like I do think those people are out there, but I do feel like there's a lot of people because obviously there's still men in the club. I'm not gonna say I always have the best intentions, but I feel like they're just evolving to the game. Like what I'm saying. I don't know.
I wish they wouldn't evolve to the game, and I wish that they would evolve personally. Like, I wish men would evolve emotionally as a species, so that we could all have just better interactions, short term or long term.
I'm gonna say something I heard on TikTok. You know, all the great philosophers on TikTok. Some guy said, he said, you know what don't make no sense? Like I said, if you go back to Drake era, there was a lot of soft niggas out there trying to get that soft energy. And what happened?
We loved it.
Cap.
We love Drake. I love soft
y'all love Drake, but y'all didn't love Drake fans.
I love Drake fans.
You might have loved Drake fans. I remember being a soft boy.
I do remember girls somewhat clowning dudes who like Drake.
Dang, he really liked me for real. Not feeling it. Now the nonchalant nigga has risen. Oh, y'all niggas want to act so aloof and you acted so cool. Like, I can't even tell if he liked me. It's like, bruh, what do you mean? This is what y'all made. This is what y'all wanted.
So we created it. See, you sounded like the dudes in the comments, but you know what? I can't say that I just feel like we both contributed to the reality.
100%.
You know,
100%.
that's all I'm saying. But it doesn't. But
like I said, I was definitely the nigga like, I love you, Illy. I don't think this is gonna work. Wait, what? Heartbroken. Now I gotta be like, I love you. That's what's up.
niggas get rejected once and they just never come back.
Definitely wasn't once. let's get that straight.
Okay.
I did not get my
you.
I didn't get my little hand like this. It's like, I'm never doing that again. It was more like, dang, y'all really don't want this. What do y'all want? And like I said, I'm looking to the women. What women want is they want to chase, and that's what y'all want for real? Mom, is this what you want? That's what y'all want for real? Dang. And then I learned the game. Now the game is changing. It's okay. Now the game is changing, but it's like, dang, you talking about I'm emotional, and I'm like, don't feel away. It's like, girl, where was you at? Where was you at back then?
Where was you at when I was shooting in the gym?
Yeah, exactly. What was that energy? So that's why I say I don't know. That's my piece on it, because like, I feel it. Men staying in the house, blah 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 blah. But I do feel like I do feel like I said, it's an ebb and flow.
Yeah, and they're saying like men are going out, but it's just in different ways. Like they talk about like passport bros, you know, dudes traveling, particularly American dudes traveling to meet their non-American future wife. Apparently,
where are you from? Are you traditional? Are you traditional, huh?
Sick. Sick.
Hey, some people need that traditional life.
Modern American women aren't traditional enough because we have careers, and
how could y'all?
How could we make more or comparably, you know, have comparable educations? I'm sorry, y'all created this.
Hey, but listen,
y'all created this.
That's equality, right?
And now you're mad about it.
No, it's just
y'all are all unattracted.
Y'all gotta try too.
All unattracted to the powerful women that had to run this country when y'all chose to go to war.
Well, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Y'all want equality? Y'all gotta try now.
Try what? Try what?
Shoot y'all shot. Pull up on us. Learn how to play the video game.
Oh, literally, or what are we talking about?
If you want to get at us, get on Fortnite.
You know what?
Drop 20 kills.
You know what? In that
then
video,
we can talk.
In that video, that's what he said too. That's what he said. Oh, you want to meet a firefighter? Find out where the firefighters go hang out after work.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that feedback either. But all I'm saying is, if dudes are going to complain about the quality of women out there, you know, I don't think that that's fair if like you're also not of the best quality out there.
Yeah.
If y'all are not working on yourselves, like how is it that it's all women's faults? We've been working on ourselves. That's why we have degrees. That's why we have jobs. That's why we have new incomes, because we were forced to kind of have to do that historically, and now we've made a way.
Yeah, that's what I say. I don't feel like it's all women's fault.
I know you don't, but it's just, but as a larger species, I would beg to differ that the majority don't feel women are to blame.
I just feel like the ignorant part of us is like, well, if y'all want equality, that like to double it down. If y'all want equality, then y'all need to try to pull up on us.
We do, don't we?
Huh?
Don't you think we do?
Now?
And we been about that life.
Shit.
Women have been about that life.
Maybe I just wasn't the nigga then. I wasn't that nigga, I guess, because
It does require that. That is a.
Because I remember it was I know the niggas that got pulled up on where it's like, what's up with you? I'm like, dang, that's not the type of nigga I wanted to be. You know?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, the game's changed where it's like, well, shit, let me know what you want then. If you want me with my haircut, then pull up on me and tell me my haircut look good. Let me know. And I've had it happen. I've had people who like low key grab me up. I know you from somewhere. No, you don't. No, you do not. Do not grab me like that, ma'am. Ma'am, get your hands off me.
So dudes like it when girls approach them? Because I've heard mixed reviews. Or like,
I think it's safer. I think a guy's more engaged if a girl, at least prods. I talked about it before, like the bump. Walk up to the bar, get some drink, and oh, my bad, sorry. Oops. Oh, I didn't mean step in your shoes. What kind of shoes you got on?
I don't know. Every time I approach a dude, it never works out well for me.
You coming aggressive?
Maybe.
Let's talk about it.
I'm an alpha female, so.
Let's talk about it.
Okay.
What's your go-to move? Go.
My go-to move?
Go-to move. You see a guy, he's looking good. You think you like, oh, I'm gonna let him know I like him. What you doing?
I'm making eye contact and smiling. No,
Think it too hard. What's
finding
the
a way. No, I'm just finding a way to get close.
Okay.
In proximity. That's usually my thing. Just find a way to get in proximity.
What's close to you? Is it like earshot distance? Is it like just?
Yeah, like a person between us. Almost like close enough that we could bump into each other.
Okay.
Close enough that we can make eye contact a couple times. Okay. And I'm gonna smile at you.
Okay.
And if you smile back and hold some eye contact, then I'm gonna start a conversation. I might call you cute.
Okay.
That's usually my go-to is to let you know let you know I see you.
Do you stay there or you leave?
I'm shy, so if I'm not picking something up, I'm gonna leave.
I'm talking about, do you like say hi and have a conversation, then you dip, or you had a conversation and you stay in that conversation?
It depends on the vibe. Most of the time, I'll stay until I know what the vibe is.
That's where you messing up.
Oh, so I gotta leave sooner.
You gotta leave him.
Leave him hanging.
You gotta give him the little conversation and dip and see if he come back for more conversation. It's like, you ever gone fishing?
Yes, but I don't remember.
That concept, like you gotta give him a little, leave the palate wet. Like, dang,
I'm hungry again.
she was kind of cute, and she was talking about something. I'm trying. Now I'm thinking.
Yeah, I receive that.
But if you get the full meal, it's like, I'm not hungry no more.
Yeah, I have a lot to say too. I feel like dudes think like, oh, she talks a lot, and I do.
I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that.
I'm a great conversationalist. Like, I'm not over here just talking out my butt. I have like great things to talk about. So that's also for me a nice filter. Like, if you can't hold a conversation, you're not for me.
Interesting.
But yeah, I do think I come on a little too strong, a little too eager, a little too.
Definitely, probably. I can see the eager.
Yeah. But it's
damn,
just,
you really want to talk.
Yeah, you're so happy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not.
You ever get hit with the famous line, dang, you want to know my whole life story?
Yes.
I've been there.
I've heard, yeah.
I've thrown that line out a couple times like, dang, you the ops? That's what I said.
Yeah.
You the ops?
Yeah.
You're asking a lot of questions. Yeah. And I'm a question asker.
Got that a lot.
I think and sometimes it'd be the type of questions like, don't come up to me and ask me what sign I am. Mm-hmm. Why are you trying to psychoanalyze me already? I just met you.
I'm trying to figure out compatibility. Not even that.
You were Aries, huh? Stop. Please don't do that.
I hear like, yeah, most dudes don't like that.
No.
But
what? I don't get it.
Well, because if you believe in astrology, there are some personality archetypes that do somewhat ring true. And the thing is, some of those archetypes are not compatible with others, especially if you've had a series of bad experiences. Like, I'm a Cancer, and I've had a series of terrible experiences with other Cancer men. It doesn't work. I have 2 guy friends that are Cancers that are genuinely my friend. But otherwise, Cancers I've dated,
That's too
toxic.
much emotion.
Toxic. It's either too much emotion, it's too much negative emotion. It's like my worst version of me in the male form. You know, super emotional, but not very good at articulating it, or else not emotional enough, because Cancers can be very like cutthroat in terms of like, you know, we just go into our shell and shut ourselves off from the world. And when dudes do that, it can, I don't know, it gives me the ick. I don't know, I have decided as of this week that, just.
You know what? That's my new red flag.
Astrology girls?
No, not them. If your first question is what sign I am.
I don't think it's ever a first question. Well, maybe for some.
It'll maybe not be question number 1, but it'd be like question number 3.
Oh yeah, I definitely am asking it on the first date.
Really? That's crazy.
I'm just curious.
It's always, I'm gonna tell you exactly how it always happened. Have conversation. Oh wow,
It's going so good.
Yeah, interesting. What sign are you? I've been trying to figure out this whole time what sign you are.
Trying to figure out if the compatibility is real or if we're just having a good
Ma'am,
day.
I'm the sign, Aquarian. Don't ever ask me what the sign is again.
I'm only gonna tell you once.
I'm the sign. Everybody try to act, oh, I love Leos. I love Sagittarius.
Leos are great. I have a lot of Leos
in my chart
are
too. Fake.
Well, I don't know about that. I've had some really good Leo friends.
My sister's a Leo. She's not fake. She's not fake. Geminis are fake. Leos are just in your face, like, ugh. I get it. You want attention? Back up. Back up off me. We get it. You can have the show.
That's why I get along well with Leos, because I'm kind of the same way. But like I said, I have a lot of Leo in my chart. So yeah. Anyway,
That's the only. I only know the ones that's in my family. Obviously, my mom's a Gemini. My sister's a Leo. Her son's a Leo. My brother is a Gemini, and the other one is a Virgo.
Interesting.
And then I'm Aquarian. My dad's Aquarian. Aquarian. Yeah. Me and my dad are Aquarians.
That's cute.
And then
I've for the longest time tried to figure out how to say Aquarius plural.
Aquarians. Mm-hmm.
That's cute. Okay.
Yeah, me and my dad have the same birthday.
My mom's an Aquarian too.
Yeah. She probably get along with us.
Aquarius. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess you could say Aquarius, but it sounds weird. Aquarius is Aquarians.
Yeah. Aquarians works best. One of my other best friends is also an Aquarius, but
best sign.
Yeah,
y'all. But y'all don't believe it. The world don't believe that Aquarians are good signs.
Y'all are quirky and different, and it's the execution.
I think all of the Aquarians are like, yeah, that's you Aquarian, that's my nigga right there. We know what's up.
I think the world appreciates and loves Aquarians, but we just don't understand y'all all the time.
I think y'all appreciate us from a distance. Yeah. When you're friends with them, it's like, damn, this nigga just blocked me for no reason. It's like, no, he was fucking up my energy. I had to block you to protect myself and protect you.
Yeah, Aquarians are otherworldly like that for sure.
Like, bro, I've been there a couple of times where I'm like, bro, listen, I have to stop talking to you because you going through a lot and you keep trying to use me. You need to go figure that out. Don't come over here with all that. I'm zen over here. Shout out to Aquarians.
Shout out to y'all.
Anyway, I was gonna say they always say we're toxic too, but
every sign has its toxic capability.
100%. But yeah, guys, I feel like I don't know. Is there something else you want to touch on as far as the landscape of men staying in the house? What's your final thoughts on it?
Like I said, I just wish that women and men could hear each other better. That's all I'm really getting at here. I'm all in fun in most of the stuff that I said. Some of it I meant to, but
I mean that.
But I just wish that we could like get along and create really fun experiences again. Like I remember going out before COVID and really enjoying being on the outside with everybody. And it's not fun going to the club and it be only women. Like,
really?
Yeah.
But that's what y'all wanted.
Who?
I'm gonna be real. That really actually surprised me, genuinely. Because I like you said, I want to go out there and dance with my friends. I'm like, okay.
I do, but I like having male energy around, and like, you know, I also, again, like as long as it's not a bunch of creeps that are swimming the club ocean trying to eat up all the piranhas, like.
Yeah, I do think it's only the creeps out there right now.
That's the thing. Like, I wish the better dudes would like help set the tone for healthier environments and experiences, particularly for women.
Yeah.
Like, if y'all don't continue to stay in the house, we're gonna have to continue to like protect ourselves.
Yeah.
And we'll never be able to really rely on y'all.
Oh, you're talking about from the creeps?
Yeah, like I'm not saying like we need y'all to save us, but I'm just saying like it'd be great if you were interested in helping in that area.
Yeah.
And I do think that it does make a difference when good men are there to stand up when a crusty dude is trying us and they're not listening, because that happens all too often. So I can't say that we need y'all, because I feel like women would come for me. You know what I mean? In terms of like our advocating for like our abilities and strength. But there is something to be said about men listening to one another. Well, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I do think that's true. There definitely needs to be a voice of reason in the club, because I definitely see somebody get upset. No, bro, this now it's like, nigga, chill. You're wilding.
I went out to the club with my best friend for her birthday, Carissa. Shout out to Carissa, and it was such a good time. We went out. I went out with her boyfriend, one of her best friends, her brother, and we were all just hanging out, but there were dudes that were being rather aggressive with me, and her brother was kind enough to kind of keep an eye on how dudes were approaching me and other women that we were, and his sister included, like, and that felt nice. It felt nice that somebody was like concerned about our well-being, and that dudes weren't just like pulling us to grind on us, and you know what I mean? Like, that there were dudes that were really in there trying to block that from happening to us. You know, without us having to do that fighting all by ourselves.
I would say that was. I think that's the solution. You gotta get some guy friends.
Well, yeah. Or a man.
I mean, yeah, but
I have a lot of great guy friends. I've got you. I actually have great guy friends, but they're not club goers really.
Yeah.
That's what. So you know.
Club is whack.
A lot of women have great guy friends.
I go to the club. I've been.
You know where their good guy friends are? At home.
Come hang out with us and watch a movie.
Yeah, I guess we got to switch it up, huh? We got to switch up our environments too.
Like I said, to leave on that point, to end it on this point is like, I don't know. I think it's weird, from what I was reading at least, the people that was the population of millennials, they're not against going out per se. I think, like I said, it was the interpersonal. It's impersonal, like. Cause when I sat back and thought about the club, I think about the loud music. I think about people. I'm sorry. There's nothing worse than talk. I'll use a B word. There's nothing worse than talking to a drunk woman. That's like, just really in the heat of being intoxicated. It's like, I do not want to talk to you right now. And them be the ones that really want to talk your ear off. Like, please back up. Smelling like Casamigos. Back up off my face. So it's like because like I can't really gauge who you really are because you under the influence. I can't really even gauge this interaction if you really like me because you under the influence. There's not. So it's like this whole thing is facade until we either go out another time.
Yeah,
and
it's
I feel
both
like,
ways.
Huh?
It's both ways.
No, 100%. And I'm just saying, like, I feel like more people. Especially when I think of like the club scene, the scenes that are opening up, I feel like a lot more people are going to lounges.
Yeah.
I see a lot more people going to bars.
Yeah.
Something where it's not heavy intoxication, or if there is, it's still in a space where you are. It's not like rowdy.
Yeah.
It's like the energy is different. Like, I feel like that's where we're going, and I feel like that's the healthy medium you're talking about, where it's like we can go out and there might be a DJ who plays for a couple hours and play some good music, but before like Rochambeau. Sometimes you go to Rochambeau and it's chilling. Then the DJ will come and it'd be like, and you can't really hear nobody like, hey.
Oh yeah, that's true.
What wine are you drinking?
But it's still giving grown and sexy.
Yeah, and then he'll leave and you're like, whoever's still there, it's like, what's up? You know, I talked to you another time. You know, whatever. I feel like we're evolving more in those places where, like you said, coffee shops and, or if you just really want that vibe of the club, I think a lot of people are just waiting for festivals.
Yeah.
There's a lot more festivals coming out.
And outdoor parties. And maybe clubs are just for horny 20-something-year-olds.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we've almost pretty much expired. I know you're almost hitting 30. You're about to come around the bend soon.
I mean, I was, even when I was 20, I never hit the club. I got all my best action at house parties.
So maybe I'm wrong.
All my best action at house parties. That's, if y'all want to,
I would liken house parties to the club. I wouldn't say that that's any different. So I think my point remains. Partying is for horny 20-year-olds. Hard partying.
Yeah.
Sorry if that's a little vulgar, but
yeah.
I feel like it's true. You got raging hormones at that age.
I mean, I think it's just an energy thing. Like I don't even think like, I think the hormones are going, but even when I was at parties, my goal was not to have sex. My goal was just to act stupid, really. And if I can act stupid with my friends,
okay,
we're gonna act stupid doodle dumb.
Horny stupid.
Yeah, I'm definitely just want to act
young
stupid.
and dumb. It's just for young and dumb.
Oh, 100%.
So yeah, it's there to be young and dumb. I'm not saying people who are there are only, but I was too.
Yeah, I was definitely young and dumb.
I still can be sometimes, but
I feel that energy pin up like I prefer like maybe once a month. I just feel that urge like I just want to get faded.
Every now and then, my birthday's coming up. I do want to go shake a tail feather.
Yeah,
I
think this birthday I'm gonna go karaoke. That's how I want to get faded. I just want to get faded and sing karaoke.
I want to go roller skating too. Wait, let's go. Yeah, I would do the karaoke. Yeah, faded karaoke is fun.
Yeah, so I'm probably that's what I'm gonna do is probably get a bunch of friends and tell them to come. Like, let's get a little karaoke room and just get faded and sing, sing karaoke. Like for me, like I mean, if we've been to the club before, we'll see. I know it's gonna happen. It's not we'll see, but I just hope. Like me and my friends, I'm at the point where me and my friends like to do dumb stuff. Like we're trying to plan a brunch where we wear wigs. We all wear different color wigs.
Stop. Wait.
So we're that's what we're in the plans of doing right now.
That's hilarious and awesome.
But I'm old school. You know, a lot of these new school kids ain't into all that. I don't want them people in my house.
Like I said, I think it's a maturity thing. Mm-hmm. You know, you mature into enjoying better, high quality social experiences.
100%. But guys,
enjoy partying while you can. Enjoy turning up at the club while you can.
Or you could be the 40-year-old nigga in the club. Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy. Especially if it's for 20-year-olds. It's gross.
Unless you're wearing moto jeans, then it's not gross. Then it's normal.
Is it?
No. But you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of niggas out there look like Genuine in the face. They can be, I guess they could pass for it.
It's true. It's true.
Anyways, thank you guys again for joining us with another episode of the Special Friends Podcast. Again, I'm your boy Wuzi.
I'm Professor B.
And we're out of here.
Thanks, y'all.
Peace.